Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? It's the NOB, the number one boomer. Appreciate y'all for stopping in. It's good to see. Hope y'all are doing well. It's good to see you for sure. All right, so we're gonna get right into this, and I'm not really sure where to start with this on my journey. I thought that I was just gonna come in here and just do sessions. That was my initial thought. Wasn't going to talk much, say anything, just do sessions. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought that maybe it would be good to just do some video just of the commentary, just to kind of stay in touch and just touch base and just align with what I did previously, which, as you saw, it was a pretty pathetic DJ session, or an attempted one. The video quality was trash, and just like my short said, loops were trash, mixing trash, faders trash, just everything was trash. So I guess maybe this is more of a lessons learned video, and what I noticed and what definitely, I mean, I have everything to improve on, but the video quality was pretty poor. So I'm working on getting that squared away. And then next, I think I'm gonna, it was too dark, so I'm gonna maybe just brighten it up a little bit, so I'm just not totally lost in there. But I guess I was thinking initially I was going to keep it just very dark, because I didn't really want people to get distracted with my my beautiful glow and my beautiful face. So I decided to not do that. So but in hindsight, in retrospect, I think it may be better if I just add a little bit more light to it, so I'm not completely lost, and maybe you all can stay in touch with me. All right, what I have here in front of me, and I kind of mentioned it on my YouTube short, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but I just wanted to make it clear that what I'm using here is an old DDJ Pioneer controller. And I just stumbled upon it. I don't say stumbled upon it. It was a gift to my daughter. I bought it for my daughter several years ago because she was into music, and I thought that this would be something that she could use to, I don't know, help with her recordings and stuff like that. I guess at the time I thought it was just maybe some kind of recording board, or voice. You could do a lot of stuff like just studio voiceovers and whatever, just EQing your voice and all that kind of stuff. But come to find out, it wasn't that at all, and she didn't use it, so it just happened to be laying around. So after a few years, I dug it up and finally figured out what it was exactly, and I guess that just caused me to go down this rabbit hole here with trying to figure out how to use it. So here I am. So this is what it is, a DDJ 400. They don't even make it anymore. It has been updated with, let me see, next generation. The next generation is the DDJ FLX4. So if you watch a fair amount, or any type of DJ tutorial videos and things of that nature, you probably hear them mentioning this particular turntable a lot. The DDJ, like I say, right here in front of you, FLX4. So the turntable I'm on is pretty much the same. How did I lose that? It's pretty much the same in terms of features and capability. It's my understanding that the newer version, the current version, the DDJ FLX4 is has more capabilities, connectivity capabilities per se, and like Bluetooth and streaming support, things like that. But in terms of the actual performance of it and mixing, and it appears to be identical. Same button layout, same knob layout, it's all the functions are there, just lacks the my older version lacks the current wireless and little fancy features to connect to and things of that sort. So that is what I have for my DJ controller. So I'm not starting off with something that's super expensive, because if you of course, do a search on DJ controllers, you're gonna see. I mean, they can get pretty expensive. I was gonna say probably the next step up from this, you're probably looking at close to $1,000 or so in regard to Pioneer. Probably $900 or so, 1,000. Then start getting to 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. It just goes on up. So, but you can get in something like this. Can it appears from what I hear and my personal experience is that it's a great tool to learn on. It's been good for me. Even my older DDJ 400, it's been excellent. It's not, at this particular point, I can't think of anything that I need extra that another controller, a higher end controller, would provide me. I mean, it would just be a waste of money at this particular point for me. So I would advise you to come in, entry level as well, and kind of, unless you get a heck of a deal on something else. But I just find that some of those controllers can be a bit overwhelming to look at. That once you start getting into the DJ grades or the higher levels, it can be kind of intimidating to look at. So even this, when I first started, was very intimidating for me, and I'm still trying to learn to utilize all of the functions and capabilities that it has now. So I can only imagine if I had started out on something advanced, I would have been probably, I may have been so overwhelmed to the point that I may have given up. So, but it has taken me some time to get to the point now where I am, like I said, trying to understand all of the capabilities and functions of this, so that when I do decide to move on, I at least have a firm grasp on the basics that this controller has to offer. Okay. And and then the next thing is my headphones. No, that's not it. Oh, okay. Oh, this is just the price. So the price on the newer version, the DDJ FLX4, is about $300, a little over $300. So you don't have to break the bank to get in. You can just get you a and you might I've been checking them out on Facebook recently, and it seemed like there's a fair amount of them actually showing up on Facebook for a couple of $100, 175, $200. So you can get in at a very reasonable price if you want to, if there's something that you're curious about looking in. And so you don't have to worry about getting a whole bunch of speakers and just all that. You don't even need that. What you got your PC and get you a nice pair of headphones. I ended up going with some Audio Technica headphones, some of these ATH M50s. I don't have a lot invested in my speakers at this particular point. I do have some Rokits, that I hook up to, and when I want to hear it out loud and things of that nature. Just a little home setup, nothing serious, but that's not required. So just get your DJ controller and get your nice set of Audio Technica or not even Audio Techno, but just get you a nice set of headphones. So that was one thing that I did do is, as you can, well, I don't have, but these probably retail for about 190, about $200 for this set. So since I didn't have a high end, not that these are super high end or anything, but since I didn't have a lot in regard to my speakers and whatnot, I decided to kind of get me just a nice set of headphones. You don't have to get in. I mean, you can use whatever headphones you're comfortable with and whatever price point you want, but I would advise you to get you a nice set of headphones. And then you need the software to run your controller, particularly the controller that we just talked about, either the DDJ 400 or the FLX4. You need a computer or a laptop to run it. I have an old laptop running mine. Well, I have an old laptop and an old PC that I run it on. What you saw me do my sessions on was an old PC that I had running on it, but it was getting the job done. So, but you probably, if you're watching this, you have a PC, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, sometimes you just got to work with what you got, man. You just got to work with what you have. And then you need the software, which I use Rekordbox. If I'm not mistaken, if you do happen to find an old DDJ 400, I'm not 100% sure if it'll run some of the other software. It may just be exclusive to Rekordbox. I use Rekordbox, but you can just go to the Rekordbox website and download their free DJ software and start learning and utilizing the software and loading, just learning how to just get your music into the program and how to load it onto your decks, just simple stuff that, I won't say simple, but basic stuff. That's what I want to say. That's the word I'm looking for. Basic stuff. I won't say it's simple because it's definitely a learning curve that's involved, that can be, it can be fairly steep and a bit overwhelming. It takes some time, at least for me. I guess there are some people that jump right in this and just figure everything out. And I guess in a few days or something, and they're good to go. But for me, it takes time. It's taken me time to get to the scrubby level that I am now. It has taken me a few months, I would say. So just to give you some context, so I have had this long enough to have spent some time on the software, some time, learning how to load tracks and things of that nature. So I'm not necessarily starting from ground zero, in case you're wondering. So that was it. I think I just wanted to touch base with you on that. I was going to get into watching some videos maybe, and kind of maybe doing a session where we just kind of listen to a couple of videos together on some techniques and things that I'm currently things that I'm just currently working on and trying to perfect. But just trying to get a solid understanding of, as you can see right here, we're talking about transitions. So once you get into this, I think you're probably, and you start listening to some people that, I'll say, now whether or not DJ Blakey, I guess everybody has their own style and taste in terms of who they look forward to instruction. I would say DJ Blakey for me seems like he has some good stuff. I think, I'm not sure if his name is Tony or what, but Club Ready DJ School. This gentleman right here, he seems, I've listened to him quite a bit. and it seems like he does a pretty good job. And so I enjoy his style, and I enjoy DJ Blakey's style. So I guess I'm not into the flash. I guess some people want to, get on stage and, throw it up and, doing all this and drop it and all. That's not really my style of DJing that I'm trying to get to. So, so I'm not so sure these particular, maybe you need to just look into some flashy, what is it? Daggone it. James Hype or something. Seems like I see a lot of James Hype videos or something pop up, and I'm apparently he's goated on his party stage. He's kind of popping right now, whatever. But I guess that's not necessarily my style. I want somebody who's going to just kind of take it easy and take it slow, and explaining things to me. Not that he doesn't. I haven't seen any of his tutorial videos. I don't even know if he has any per se. Every now and then I'll see him drop a video on, some things he would do if he was starting out new, what to do. But it seems like his perspective, when I say his, again, I'm talking about the James Hype guy. It's kind of focused on, I'll say the business, but cultivating your skill so you can perform, at venues and just getting to a high level in that sort of trajectory with your career, DJ career and just path. Mine is more just personal. I don't have any desire at the moment. I'm not saying I won't, to ever go to clubs and DJ at clubs and stuff like this. So this is more of a personal, it's just a personal thing for me. So, so it's all about what you're looking for, I guess, is what I'm saying. So depending on what you're looking for, you're probably going to gravitate to different type of instructors and people that you listen to and tune into. So, not to say that I won't, don't want to learn how to, make it rock sometimes, but that's not where my foundation or fundamental core is going to be. It's not going to be in that. I'm going to be more probably trance, Afro house beats, dark, EDM music genres, which seems like there's, I don't know, countless number of those, but anyway, so I'm going to cut this video short. I've rambled on long enough, it seems. I have to do better at learning how to keep things short. And the next video, we'll get into just kind of listening to a couple of these guys, just kind of talk about some basic things. Like I said, transitions, just music selection, just transitions and things of that nature, and phrases and phrases. That's a big one. Understanding phrases. So those are the probably three things, that I'm going to be working on for the next probably forever. So at least for the next, hardcore focused on for the next few months, I would say, in particular, trying to get a solid understanding of those things. But next video, we'll take a look at, some tips and stuff that they give and maybe talk about it. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short. Like I said, I thought I was going to be able to get into it, but I've run my mouth so long now that I'm not. So, but appreciate y'all for stopping in and spending time with the old man. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.